Hey guys, this is another Talks with Timmy video. I'm outside hanging on my washing line, as you can see. Luckily, I'm not too heavy for it to collapse on these thin frames. But yeah, we currently have a typhoon coming through the south of, from the south. It's just passed its way through the island of Okinawa, and I think it's really close to the south part of Japan right now. So I was just watching the weather report to see some of the news where some of the roads have kind of been not flooded, but has some deep levels of water. Cars are still able to drive through, but it's getting quite stormy there. There's a lot of rain pouring in right now, but because I'm in Matsumoto here up in the mountains in Nagano, it's actually not too bad. There's a little light drizzle here and there. I actually find this really irritating though. The only thing that's annoying me about this right now is that I can't dry my clothes on my washing line, so hence why I'm hanging out here to check if this is going to stop anytime soon. The only other way that I can probably get my washing done and dry is if I actually go to the cleaners down the road. So that's going to be something quite interesting to try out actually. But it's gonna be, so I think I should be able to do that tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow morning, tomorrow night. I might be able to take my stuff down to the cleaners, get it all cleaned and dried after school. But as for now, I can't really do much with this kind of weather. So if I give you an idea of what this kind of looks like. So this is the weather right now. It's just clouds in the sky everywhere, little lights drizzle, it's just low off the line. I hope this thing didn't freeze now and put the audio out of sync. So, I'm going to quickly fix that. Hey guys, so a couple hours later, and check it out. It's actually drizzling quite a bit more outside, so it's not strong rain. So just like I said, living in the mountains is pretty good. Because basically how the structure of Japan is in central Japan, because it's surrounded by mountains, it creates this like concave. So it's not so a little bit of a concave, meaning that if there is a typhoon, it's not by the time it gets to the mountain area, it can't really climb up the mountains as much as it would kind of on the coast. So on the coast it just rampages through, but in the mountain area it's a little bit softer because it struggles to get up the mountain essentially. But yeah, so but right now I basically just finished a 1 hour thing at ISCOM, which is a private English school. So I may potentially have a part-time job there. At the moment, we're just sorting out through the paperwork. Visa is something that we've been trying to talk about. Hopefully, we're going to get that all sorted as well. Because in Japan, I think it's with any immigration system, if you go work overseas, you can't have more than one job without going through a few, how would you say, without going through a few hoops, if I can say that. So what I am basically doing now, because I'm already currently working full-time as an ALT here in Japan, if I want to have any second job, or if I want to go work somewhere else part-time or do another casual job, I actually have to go and seek permission from the immigration office and the Japanese government, so that will enable me to earn extra money on the side. And I think it's mainly due to the taxation laws as well. So as a foreigner, they really want to make sure that I'm not jumping through any loopholes or doing any kind of activity that takes advantage of the system and doesn't pay tax. So yeah, one way to get to really deal with the tax evasion kind of rules and scenarios, as well as tax fraud, so any fraud and stuff. Yeah, so it's a bit of a complicated system, but that's with any country you go to. So if you do want to go work overseas, make sure that you do study your rights and what you can do on your visa, because that's going to be really important to determining whether you can work a certain amount of hours, how much can you earn, especially if you're studying overseas. That's something else altogether, and it really depends on what visa you're on. So make sure that you check what visa you're going on and that you do your research on what you can do and what you can't do on your visa. General life is pretty simple. You can do whatever you want in general life, but is anything to do with earning money overseas or even volunteering. Volunteering is something you have to check, because even if you're doing freelance, say freelance journalism or freelance articles and stuff like that, if you technically have to sign a contract, then yeah, that falls under a particular part of your visa restrictions or visa allowances. So make sure that you do your research and you go check that out. But anyway, so that's more about me. So again, just as a recap, I'm potentially going to have another job, a part-time job outside of school soon, and hopefully I'll be able to save up a little bit more to get some better equipment for this channel, get some better content for you guys. I'm really excited for it, because having a part-time job is really going to help a lot of the things that I want to do. So stay in touch. If you have any other tips or advice, someone's just giving me some really good advice. You should go check him out. His name is Harry Digital Photographs. I think I'll put that in the link in the description. I'll put the link in the description below. He's a really cool guy. His photography and his work is amazing. You should really go check him out. He gives some really good tips on photography, potentially video as well, and he does quite a bit of work with drones as well. So go check him out. He's really awesome. In fact, we actually know each other from high school, and I know he's got really good talent and really awesome awesome brain for this sort of stuff. So go check him out, and make sure that you subscribe to his page as well. We'll leave it in the link below. Leave the link in the description below. All right. So let's go home and put this up. All right, I just thought I'd mention one more thing before I go, now that I'm at home. Just going back to talking about visas and giving you a bit of tips and advice with regards to your research on working here in Japan. Japan has just changed its labor laws a little bit to allow more immigration, or actually to allow more foreigners to come into Japan and do work, especially in their labor-hungry areas. So what the situation is basically at the moment is that Japan is suffering. Probably a bit extreme to say suffering, but Japan is struggling at the moment with declining birth rates and an aging population. So over time, they're projecting that their local population would actually decrease by quite a large margin over time. So this is why they're having making adjustments at the moment in government with regards to working visas for foreigners, and I think they project about 345,000 new working visas to be issued to foreigners in 14 different labor-hungry markets or areas or industries. That includes your farming, I think your textiles and trades, your farming, your manufacturing, I think manufacturing, your specialist visas as well, so like doctors, humanitarian visas are kind of there up on the list. Maybe I think I can't remember all of them, but I'll leave maybe a little bit of information in the description as well, because it's really hard to remember off the top of my head. So yeah, go do your research. Like I said, go read up what the current immigration policies are for Japan, especially with regards to working visas. there's in high demand of particular visas and particular skills for certain labor hungry areas. So go check out their list. I know farming is definitely number one on the list. And it's your health facilities as well. So anything to do with medical qualifications, or anything to do with anything to do with medical facilities is a definite one at the top of the list, because with the aging population in Japan at the moment, it means that more people are going to end up in retirement homes or old age homes. So they'll need people to look after these people as they're growing older, and not being able to work any longer than what they can after they retire. Younger people are going to end up taking a lot of the brunt in terms of the workforce, because with the population getting with the older population get larger, it means that less people are actually capable of working in intensive careers or jobs or positions. So make sure that you, again, do your research, go find out what's going to be good for you, what's going to suit you, what your qualifications can get you in terms of landing a job here in Japan, whether it be full-time, part-time, or casual. Most companies look for 1-year contracts to start off with, but one of the biggest things in Japan is they look for loyalty as a big reference point. So if you're after a full-time job here in Japan, really decide very carefully what sort of industry you're going to be entering, because in order to land the job, loyalty is quite a big part of the hiring process. It's expected here in Japan at the moment, it being still in its industrial kind of era sort of mindset. It's expected that when you start a job here in Japan, you'll be working for that company for almost the rest of your life. Things are slowly changing. It's not as strict on foreigners as well, because obviously foreigners are kind of seen a little bit differently here in Japan compared to the local population. But really consider that when you're applying for your jobs in terms of the cultural differences. So yeah, so that's some advice for you again with regards to visas and applying for jobs here in Japan. If you would like to hear some more information, or get some more information from someone who is here as a foreigner and can kind of give you a bit more background around the processes and who to talk to and how to get in, and where to go when you are looking, or when you are on your job search, make sure that you just leave it in the comments below, and I'll make sure that I try and get back to you in another video, or even message you in the comments as well and reply to you in that way. So yeah, so that's it from me. That's another video. This is probably just going to be one of those pop at the moment kind of videos. I decided to record today just because there was a typhoon and it seemed something interesting. It wasn't too strong, but you can still hear the wind outside, so it's strong enough to kind of make it a little bit uncomfortable. But it's okay. It's something different from the beating sun and the hot humidity. So that's pretty much a relief. So that's a wrap. Make sure that you leave your stuff in the comments below. I'll take a look at it later and I'll get back to you. Alright, cool. That's it from me. This is going to be a new playlist. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Alright. Ciao. Cheese.